Hey everybody, welcome back to my Pink Room of Doom. I hope you're doing well today. So for this video, this is a very highly anticipated video, at least for me. I'm really excited to do it, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it for a little while, but today we're going to be upgrading my Epiphone Explorer. So yes, it is finally that time to upgrade my 2004 Epiphone Explorer. Now, I did a full video on this already where I give you the rundown of the specs and everything, playing demo, all that good stuff like I normally do. We'll leave a link in the cards up there if you want to go check that video out. But just a quick rundown on this. So this guitar is pretty unique as it sits. So it's a Korean-made Epiphone, which I've made a video on that as well, the difference between Chinese and Korean, all that kind of good stuff. You want to go check that out. As far as playability, this thing is great. You know, the truss rod works. You can set it up, get it to play however you like. It's the electronics that I have an issue with. Now again, this is a 2004, so it's almost 20 years old at this point, but I still feel like the electronics should be working to some degree. The pots aren't horrible, but I'm going to change those. It's the pickups I have the biggest problem with. There's barely any output in these things. So as you can see, I wouldn't take this into a recording studio. I wouldn't play this live. I wouldn't play it at all. In fact, I've not played this thing a whole lot since I've had it because it's just, you can't plug it in and play it. There's just there's hardly any output. So it's just kind of discouraging to play. But we're gonna try to fix that today. We're gonna address the issues that are making this thing as horrendous as it is. And we're gonna see if we can get it into playing shape. And here's what we're gonna use. So I wanna start by saying that the output jack has already been switched because I did already go into it at one point to see if I could look and see if there were any loose solder joints or anything. I took that output jack out and it just fell apart. So fortunately I had a Switchcraft one on hand, soldered it in, so that's already been changed. Speaking of Switchcraft, we're gonna be using a Switchcraft 3-way switch. This was on Amazon for about 15 bucks, I think. So Switchcraft, I've used this a couple of times and a couple of other upgrades, and I swear by them, they're great. So Switchcraft Switch, can't go wrong. So when it comes to pots, we're gonna be using 3 CTS pots. These are 500K pots. Again, I've used CTS pots in my other upgrades, and Epiphone are actually using CTS electronics in their new guitars, their 2020, 2021 guitars. All those have CTS pots in them. So I swear by them, they're great. And clearly Epiphone thinks they're great too if they're using them now. Now you may have noticed I've only been holding 3 of those. That's because this Explorer has 3 pots. It's got 2 volumes and 1 master tone. So with that tone, we need a capacitor. So this is an orange drop cap. We only need the 1, but orange drop, really, really good as well. So there you go. These are relatively inexpensive, but orange drop are typically what everybody uses because you know, they're really good. Now for the big upgrade. So I don't have a neck pickup yet. I have kind of an idea for a neck pickup. It's not original by any means, but I do want to do it. But I don't have one yet. But I do have this. So this is what's going to be going in the bridge. This is a Seymour Duncan Distortion, and it is in a beautiful white. I was going to do zebra as recommended by my wife, but I could not find any zebras that were in stock. And I found this white, and I thought, well, it's got the white pick guard, and I think it would look really, really cool. So we're gonna do a Seymour Duncan Distortion in the bridge. So there's a rundown of all the parts. Let's go ahead and get this thing stripped down and go ahead and start the upgrades. Okay, so here we are at my workbench, AKA my couch with a towel on it. As you can see, it's a Flamingo towel as well because we like to keep that theme on this channel. Now, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. This isn't gonna be like a soldering tutorial and everything, but I thought it'd be fun just to kind of show you what's in it, what we're working with, then I'll install some stuff, and then we'll go ahead and get on with the after result here. So let's go ahead and open up the back. All right, so as you can see, we have shielded back of the cavity cover there, so that's good. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see, this is already a rat's nest, so let's go ahead and see kind of what's going on in here. Okay, so I'm sorry for the not so great camera quality here. I know it's 2021, but I'm still a poor boy here. Not really, but I'm using my phone. So anyway, just gonna kind of show you. So these cables here, this red one and this black one, are for the pickups. So we're gonna unsolder those first. And then we're really just gonna unsolder everything since we're changing the pots, but I'm gonna unsolder these and just go ahead and take the pickups out and all that stuff. But to take the pickups out, we have to take that whole front plate off, and it's just a big old pain in the butt. So let's go ahead and unsolder these and just kind of get as much of this out of here now as we can. Okay, so I didn't record me unsoldering everything, but as you can see, I've got everything unsoldered here. The only thing that I'm gonna end up keeping in this back cavity here is this red wire right here, because that goes to the output jack, which I've already mentioned has been changed. And then this wire, where's it at? Right here, because that is the bridge ground and we need that. So this is why you don't go, and I didn't do this, I'm just warning you, if you go to change anything, don't just go through with some wire cutters and just be like snip, 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 because you never know what you're cutting. If you cut that bridge ground, it's just a pain in the butt to have to run it back through and everything. But just wanted to show you the progress we made. So everything's unsoldered. Let's go ahead and take the pots out. Okay, so I just flipped over the guitar here. So something that you can do when you go to take off these knobs, you can take the little ESP tool, which is like a little wrench that kind of goes up under there like that, and you just pull them off, but I don't have one of those, obviously. So what you can do is you can take like a microfiber cloth and just kind of wedge it up under there, kind of wrap it around, and kind of get it kind of wrapped around like that underneath, and just kind of pull up. And you see it comes off, doesn't really damage it or anything. So just a fun little tip if you want to try to get those off without any kind of tools. Okay, so now we got the knobs off, we're just going to loosen up these nuts here and take the pots out. All right, so now you can see we have all of those out, and here are the old pots. So let's take a look at these really quick. So you probably can't see, well, there you go, I got it focused. So these are still 500K pots. They're not branded. They're probably Alpha pots if I had to guess. Normally Alpha pots say Alpha on them, but yeah, I mean, cheap pots. They got some good taper to them and everything, but if we're gonna be doing a full upgrade, might as well go ahead and do the full upgrade, right? So there you go, old pots. Okay, so just flipping it back over here. So all we're left with again are these two wires, which we've already told you what they are. You got these two wires here, which are the pickups. Then you got this crazy bundle here. This actually goes to the switch. So the three-way switch. I'm probably not going to keep this. I'm trying to salvage wire if I can, and I advise you can, or you do that if you can too. Just makes your job a little easier, but I might try to keep this and see if I can do something with it. But you'll see kind of how this works here in a few minutes. I just wanted to show you what we're working with now that we have the pots taken out. So this part I'm truly dreading having to do because I just put strings on this, but it is what it is. Now a lot of people are probably gonna come on here and say, well, you can just change or save the strings and just put them back on later. To you, I say that doesn't work for me. I don't know why. Strings don't ever want to go back on. So, you know what? I just bought a 3-pack of strings the other day, so it doesn't really bother me all that much. And yeah, it'll have a fresh set of strings on it, and then I'll actually want to play this thing now that it'll sound good. So, bye-bye barely used strings. It pains me, this really does. This hurts me a lot more than it probably hurts you. If anything, it hurts my wallet. But hey, strings are like $5 a piece, so it's okay. And as you can see, this doesn't have the locking tailpiece on it, so just slides right off. We're gonna keep that off, but you can tell by the colored ball ends, that kind of gives away what strings are on there and what's going to be replaced on there. Just while we have this off, I figure I'll go through some of these parts. So this is just kind of a I get the camera to focus. You can see it's just a gold bridge. It doesn't say Epiphone on it. It says B2. Not sure what that means, but you know, gold bridge. It works. So just kind of an interesting question. So I'm sure the majority of people do it, but do you coil your strings like this when you take them off, or do you just kind of chuck them in the garbage? I've only recently started cutting the strings right here and having these two ends, so I just usually throw these away and coil them. But let me know what you do with your strings in the comments below. All right, more fun stuff. So to get to this switch, we have to unscrew this. You can kind of see where I'm going. We have to take off this entire pick guard to get to this switch here. So fun stuff. All right, so that was fun. Let's see what's under here. We're gonna just grab that and look at that. So there you go. It's pretty dull under there, but we're gonna pull that out and you can see what I was talking about. All of that goes to this switch. Sorry, I dropped the washer to the switch there. Doesn't really matter, we're gonna be probably tossing this switch, but you know, the switch isn't bad. As you can see, it's Epiphone branded. It's not horrible. I mean, it worked. It didn't cut out or anything, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to it as like a spare part. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely unsolder these wires here and save them, because as you can tell from the Switchcraft Switch, you know, they're pretty identical. Yeah, pretty much identical. Oh, look at that. Someone already pushed the, you have to push these tongs together. Someone already did that. Huh, it's interesting. Okay, but you can see they're, you know, practically the same in a lot of ways. But this one's definitely higher quality. All right, now for the pickups, I gotta obviously unscrew these, and we will come back when I get these undone. And you know, it just occurred to me too, I said these, I only meant the bridge. We're only changing the bridge here, but you know, pardon me on that. Anyway, so here's the bridge pickup. I flip it over here, as you can see, that's what it is. It's Epiphone branded. Got it, the cover soldered on there, everything. So I mean, it looks on the surface like a good pickup, but man, it's just does not sound good, right? So, you know, and I can already tell you now, this right here, it's got just a hot and a bridge, or a hot and a ground. So there's the hot, there's the ground. I know for a fact that Seymour Duncan has the 4 wires. You know, you got the 2 that you tape off unless you want the coil splits and everything, but we're not doing that. So yeah, just figured I'd show you what the bridge pickup was. If you're interested in this bridge pickup, let me know and I'll send it to you. You know, you can have it. I'm not gonna use it in anything, so. And then when I get the neck pickup out of here as well, if you want that, feel free, message me, let me know. All right, so we have everything taken out. We have all the pots taken out. We have the pickup taken out. We have the switch taken out. So now it's time to prep all of the other parts to be put into the guitar. Now again, this isn't a tutorial on how to do all this. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep everything, kind of put everything in there, and then we'll go ahead and get on to hearing what this new pickup sounds like.
3 days later.
So there it is, everybody. We have the new Seymour Duncan installed. We have all 3 CTS Pots installed, and we have our Switchcraft Switch installed. So we are all ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, string it up, and we're gonna see what it sounds like. I have already tested everything as far as plugging in, you know, tap, 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 switch, all that stuff. I don't know what it sounds like, but I have tested all the electronics. They do work. So let's go ahead and string it up and get a playing demo. I've now ripped the box, but in case you're curious, I'm using D'Addario 10 to 46s. All right, everybody, so I'm back now with the completed project here. So as you can see, we have that beautiful Seymour Duncan installed. We have our CTS Pots. We have everything going here. Everything's all strung up. I've got it tuned. I've kind of noodled around on it unplugged just to kind of get the strings stretched out or anything. But if they go out of tune, you know, brand new strings, I've tried my best. But yeah, I figured we would go ahead and plug it in, see what it sounds like together for the first time. Again, I did plug it in earlier and just tap everything to make sure that there was no grounding issues. Everything is solid on that end. So let's go ahead and see what this thing sounds like. So I've got it plugged into my DAW, and I've just got some virtual amps going. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it up. right, we'll start on the bridge and see what we get out of this new pickup. So here we go, play a G. See, so instantly it's got so much more power and girth to it that sounds so much better than the old pickup. I don't know what was wrong with that old pickup, but it just was so thin and just bleh, it just did not sound good. Let's see, I'm curious, because this happened with my gold top. I messed around with the electronics and everything, and it actually fixed the pickup. So I don't know if there was a loose joint or something, but let's go ahead and check out that neck pickup and see if anything changed there. So I just switched it, let's see. In on the G again. What? That's crazy, because both pickups sounded like garbage, and now that neck pickup sounds awesome. So it's kind of the similar story to my SG, where the pickup sounded okay, but once I've tinkered with the electronics, the neck pickup was like the greatest thing I've ever heard. Now, is this the same kind of instance? Not really, but I mean, it sounds really good. Maybe going out a little tune, but it sounds much better. I mean, I didn't do any adjustments to the neck pickup. So you can see everything worked out there. There's no ground noise. The signal into this thing is super duper hot. I'm seeing it just all over the place, but man, it sounds so much better. This thing is actually playable now. It's awesome. So consider this a good review for the Seymour Duncan Distortion. I think it's the SH6 is what it's called. It's an awesome replacement pickup, but this thing has become playable now. I'm gonna tinker around with it a little bit more, just get it nice and kind of worked in. Because since I've gotten this thing, I've not really played it a lot because of the electronics and everything being so weak, but now I have no excuse. So there we go, guys. My Epiphone Explorer is upgraded and ready to go. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this journey to upgrade this amazing, amazing guitar. The neck pickup thing was something that I'm pleasantly surprised about. So, but like I said, I've had an experience twice now with that being the case with my gold top and my SG. So you never know. Start tinkering with your guitars, maybe upgrade them. You never know what you might find in something that's stock in it. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this guitar, this pickup, anything you want to tell me, and I will see you guys next time.